The US-China trade war has reached a fever pitch, sending shockwaves through the global economy. The tension between these two economic giants has been building for years, but recent developments have brought it to a new and alarming level. China's recent announcement to halt $690 billion worth of imports from the US marks a significant escalation in the conflict. This drastic measure is seen as a direct response to the tariffs imposed by the US, and it has sent ripples through various sectors, from agriculture to technology. This move has rattled markets and raised concerns about a full-blown trade war between the world's two largest economies. Investors are on edge, fearing that this could lead to a prolonged period of economic instability and uncertainty. The trade dispute, which began in 2018, has been a source of instability for businesses and investors worldwide. What started as a series of tariffs and counter-tariffs has now evolved into a complex web of economic sanctions and retaliations affecting industries across the globe. The initial tariffs imposed by both countries have now spiraled into a tit-for-tat exchange of economic blows. Each side seems unwilling to back down, leading to a cycle of retaliation that shows no signs of abating. This escalation has created an atmosphere of uncertainty, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future. Companies are hesitant to invest in new projects or expand their operations, fearing that the next round of tariffs could make their products uncompetitive. The current situation underscores the fragility of the global trading system. The interconnected nature of modern economies means that disruptions in one part of the world can have far-reaching consequences, affecting supply chains and markets everywhere. It also highlights the deep interdependence between the US and Chinese economies. Despite the ongoing conflict, both countries rely heavily on each other for goods, services, and raw materials, making a complete decoupling nearly impossible. The stakes are high, with the potential for lasting damage to both nations and the global economy as a whole. Economists warn that a prolonged trade war could lead to slower growth, higher prices for consumers, and reduced international cooperation. This trade war represents a significant departure from decades of globalization and economic cooperation. For years, the trend has been towards more open markets and freer trade, but this conflict threatens to reverse that progress. The ramifications of this economic standoff will be felt far beyond the borders of the US and China. Countries around the world are watching closely, as the outcome of this trade war could reshape the global economic landscape for years to come. The roots of the US-China trade war can be traced back to long-standing grievances over trade imbalances and intellectual property rights. The US has long accused China of unfair trade practices, such as currency manipulation and forced technology transfer. These concerns have fueled tensions between the two economic giants. The Trump administration's decision to impose tariffs on Chinese goods in 2018 marked a turning point in the relationship. These tariffs were intended to protect American jobs and industries from what the US saw as unfair competition. However, China responded with retaliatory tariffs on American goods, igniting a trade war. The trade war has been marked by periods of negotiation and escalation. While both sides have attempted to reach a trade deal, these talks have often stalled or broken down altogether. The lack of progress in negotiations has led to increased uncertainty and volatility in the global markets. The complex web of economic ties between the US and China makes resolving this dispute particularly challenging. Finding a path forward will require both sides to address their concerns and find common ground. China's decision to halt $690 billion in imports from the US is a calculated and significant escalation of the trade war. This move is designed to inflict maximum pain on key American industries and pressure the US to back down from its aggressive trade policies. The targeted nature of China's retaliation is evident in its choice of sectors. Agriculture, technology, and energy, all vital to the American economy, are bearing the brunt of the import halt. This strategic approach aims to exploit vulnerabilities in the US economy and sway public opinion against the trade war. The impact of China's retaliation is already being felt across the US. Farmers are grappling with plummeting prices for soybeans and other agricultural products. Technology companies are facing disruptions in their supply chains and reduced access to the vast Chinese market. China's message is clear: It will not back down from a trade war and is willing to endure economic pain to protect its interests. This escalation has heightened the stakes for both countries and increased the urgency for a negotiated solution. American industries in the crosshairs. The trade war's impact on the American economy is becoming increasingly evident. The once bustling stock market is now showing signs of strain, and many American factories are struggling to stay open, with some even putting up for sale signs. Economists are in heated discussions, trying to predict the long-term effects of these economic tensions. Key industries are feeling the pressure as China's retaliatory tariffs bite into their bottom lines and disrupt established trade flows. Cargo ships that once moved freely are now delayed, and factory assembly lines are filled with worried workers uncertain about their future. Import and export containers, once symbols of robust trade, now stand as reminders of the ongoing conflict. The agricultural sector, a cornerstone of the American economy, has been particularly hard hit. Fields that once thrived with crops are now scenes of uncertainty. Farmers inspect their crops with concern, and expensive agricultural machinery sits idle, a stark contrast to the bustling activity of previous years. China was once the largest export market for American soybeans, but those exports have plummeted since the trade war began. Soybean fields that once promised prosperity now yield uncertainty. Export containers labeled soybeans are fewer and farther between, and farmers are left staring at empty silos, wondering how to make ends meet. Farmers are facing mounting debts and are struggling to stay afloat amid falling prices and lost markets. Financial documents reveal the grim reality of their situation, and auction signs at farms are becoming an all-too-common sight. Town hall meetings are filled with distressed farmers seeking solutions and support. The technology sector, a driver of American innovation and economic growth, is also feeling the heat. Office spaces that once buzzed with innovation are now filled with uncertainty. Electronics manufacturing lines are slowing down, and tech workers are in constant discussions, trying to navigate the challenges posed by the trade war. Chinese tariffs on American tech products have increased costs for consumers and businesses alike. Consumer electronics stores are seeing higher prices, and tech products on assembly lines are becoming more expensive to produce. Business professionals who rely on these devices are feeling the pinch as costs continue to rise. The trade war has also disrupted supply chains, forcing tech companies to rethink their manufacturing and sourcing strategies. Supply chains that once operated smoothly are now facing significant disruptions. Tech manufacturing plants overseas are grappling with new challenges, and logistics managers are in constant meetings, trying to find solutions to keep operations running. The energy sector, another pillar of the American economy, is facing headwinds from the trade war. Oil rigs and natural gas pipelines, symbols of American energy independence, are now under threat. Energy sector workers, clad in safety gear, are feeling the uncertainty as the trade war continues to impact their industry. China's demand for American energy products, such as natural gas and crude oil, has been a bright spot in recent years. Export containers labeled natural gas and crude oil shipping tankers have been symbols of this thriving trade. Energy product trade graphs have shown promising growth, providing hope for the future. However, the trade war threatens to derail this growth and force American energy companies to find new markets for their products. Energy company executives are in constant meetings, strategizing on how to navigate these turbulent times. American energy product storage facilities are becoming overstocked, and global trade maps with energy routes are being redrawn as companies seek new opportunities. Tesla's tightrope walk. Elon Musk's warning. Tesla, the electric car manufacturer led by Elon Musk, finds itself in a precarious position amid the escalating trade war. The company has been a pioneer in the electric vehicle market, pushing boundaries and setting new standards for the industry. The company's reliance on the Chinese market for both production and sales makes it particularly vulnerable to the ongoing economic tensions. China is not just a significant market for Tesla, it is also a crucial part of its supply chain and production strategy. China represents a significant market for Tesla's electric vehicles, and the company has invested heavily in building a manufacturing presence in the country. The Gigafactory in Shanghai is a testament to Tesla's commitment to the Chinese market, aiming to produce thousands of vehicles annually. However, the trade war has led to increased tariffs on Tesla's vehicles imported from the US, making them less competitive in the Chinese market. These tariffs have forced Tesla to rethink its pricing strategy and consider the financial implications of these additional costs. Elon Musk has been vocal in his concerns about the trade war's impact on Tesla. He has highlighted the potential risks and challenges that the company faces, emphasizing the need for a strategic approach to navigate these turbulent times. He has warned that the tariffs could force the company to raise prices or even delay its expansion plans in China. This could have a ripple effect, impacting not only Tesla's growth, but also its competitive edge in the global market. Musk's warnings underscore the high stakes for Tesla and the potential for the trade war to disrupt its ambitious growth trajectory. The company has set high goals for itself, and any disruption could have significant consequences. Tesla's situation highlights the challenges faced by multinational companies operating in the current geopolitical environment. The trade war has introduced a level of unpredictability that makes strategic planning more complex and fraught with risk. The trade war has created a climate of uncertainty, making it difficult for businesses to plan for the future and navigate the complex web of tariffs and trade barriers. Companies like Tesla must remain agile and adaptable, constantly reassessing their strategies to stay ahead in a rapidly changing landscape.